Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
You're listening to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. That's how we do it around here always. My co-host today, you guys know him, the AI man, Mr. Keith Swanson. Keith, good morning, and how are you?
I'm doing well, Dr. Rosie. How are you doing? How was Las Vegas? Was it empty as they say it is?
You know what? While I was downtown on the strip at the Flamingo, they had a big AI business conference. So there was, I thought there was quite a few people there, but everybody else was telling me that's not the usual. They say it's like a ghost town, but everybody there at the conference was worried about whether they were going to get back home or not.
Okay.
Keith.
Okay.
And they was wondering why I wasn't upset, because I said, well, I'm from Los Angeles. Plane decide not to go, I'll rent a car and go home.
Yeah.
So,
Recording in progress.
It's just like that. But anyway, it was really nice. I learned a lot. I have a lot to share. And I just want people, particularly our people, to understand the importance of embracing artificial intelligence. It's not coming. It's already here.
It's already here, yeah.
Yeah, you can back up if you want to. You can keep backing. But I'm telling you, it's so awesome. I accept it wholeheartedly because it certainly makes things so much better, you know.
Yeah,
So,
and you're going to have to, because I was just listening to a couple of economists, and the only way this thing makes money is to replace workers, okay? It's the only way it makes money. And like I said, when I told you guys a while back, man, that the bears are out.
yeah.
And don't you want to be the fastest camper? Okay, you really gonna have to be the fastest camper. I was actually online with like maybe 6 programmers.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're all saying the same thing. In fact, one of the guys said I was right, because I said 3 years ago AI is going to start taking seats, even as programmers, right? He said, no, we're just not, and we're too knowledgeable, we're too valuable, it's not going to happen. And 3 years later, he said, you know what, you're right. Because
A lot of programmers were there too. And the interesting thing about it, Keith, it was a lot of seniors. I mean, it wasn't a very few young people. And we did interview one person, said, why is it that, 500 people? Where are the young people? He said, we already know this stuff.
No, they don't. I wish they did. They don't.
He said they already know it, but, they don't.
They don't.
But you guys, we have a great show for you today. And I mean, it's one that's very timely. My question is, in today's tough economy, it's become commonplace, folks, for your adult children, aging parents, or lifelong friend that's facing eviction or have become homeless, and they turn to you for a place to stay. So, before you say yes, out of love or out of guilt, let's look at the real cost. What does it cost you emotionally? What will it cost you financially? And it just might cost you legally, because you may have to file a legal case to get them out of your house.
That's true.
Wow. Wow. So we're going to dive in today, and we're going to talk about the 5 deal breakers what you need to ask, what you need to know before you open your door, or what you need to do before you show them the door. I'm going to repeat that.
Okay.
Before you open the door, there's things you need to think about. And think about what you need to think about that you might have to do if you have to show them the door. Wow. You know, think about it. Have you ever taken a loved one in and regretted it?
Mm.
Have you ever had to evict your own family? What would make you say yes? And what would make you say absolutely no? If one of them called you and said, can I move in with you? Now, this is commonplace. Commonplace now because there's so many people struggling.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are people looking for a place to stay, just recently they were looking for, can I have some food?
Mm-hmm.
Folks, we're in some tough times, and I want you to imagine. See, sometimes we get so comfortable. I guess it's depressing, really. You know, people say, imagine this. Sometimes it's depressing to imagine what really could happen. I tell people to imagine what would happen if your medical insurance was cut off. That's a big one.
Yeah,
It's a big one to stretch your imagination.
It's going to be a big one going forward too, especially after the shutdown. It's going to be really big.
I think people need to start imagining. Because things are happening now in this country that you never dreamed of, you never thought of that would happen. Whoever thought we would be sitting in a position like a third world country where people don't have food? I heard a mother say, well, I feed the kids first, and if there's anything left. That was deja vu for me.
Wow. Okay. If there's anything
because listen to stories of my forefathers, Keith. They talked about those stories, how they let the kids eat first.
Yeah.
Folks, it's not the first rodeo that people didn't have food, but it was us. I'm gonna say it's not the first rodeo for black folks.
Oh, the Depression was the same way for white folks. It wasn't.
Yes.
No, it's not new. Okay.
It's not the first rodeo. So I think we need to start thinking outside of the box. And the most thing I think we need to put at the top of our list right now is start thinking about, what if your kids need a place to stay? And I hate to say it, I'm not bearing bad news, but a lot of children in California and across the United States are going to be looking forward to or having to move back home.
Yeah.
Okay? And a lot of parents are going to have to adjust to moving in with their children or a family member. Think about it, Keith. If any senior right today, people on fixed income, in fact, I'm doing a book and I'm launching a program called Silver Power, teaching people how to live their best, Brenda, on a fixed income. And that's a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of people that's on a fixed income, and they can live better if they knew the tools, if they had the tools. So I'm going to deal with that. But the average senior that's renting, let me back up when I say that. In California, well, in the United States, 45% of African Americans own their own home. That means 55% are buying home for other people. I mean, they're renting. So if that large number is renting, Keith.
Yeah.
And if the person they're renting from sell their home or lose their home, if you're in California, that senior on a fixed income, retirement, and Social Security will not be able to pay rent in California. That's deep, isn't it?
It is.
So you're going to be facing a situation where many elderly seniors are going to be looking for someone they can live with. Now, it's interesting. I was thinking, what if that takes place? A person can't just check themselves into a skilled nurse facility. This is really something to think about, Keith. What do you do? What will an elder, a senior do on a fixed income? Because one bedroom is rented for $2,000. That's basically minimum, $2,000 plus. An average person retirement income and Social Security income is not at that level.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to think right now, what would happen? I mean, what would happen if you have to move? They sell the house. You don't have enough money. Well, I guess it's nothing you can do but be on the street, right?
Yeah.
You can't just go say, well, let me check myself in a skilled nurse facility because I don't have any place to stay. I had never looked at it that way until just now. That's scary what the streets is going to look like.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles and across this country, and particularly for elders who are not able to fight for themselves. So they don't know anything to do. Some of them confused, some of them have dementia. So they don't know anything to do, Keith, but to be on the street. They don't know how to buffer the system. They don't know how to get through the red tape.
Right.
Wow.
But didn't you say that the elderly homeless is actually growing right now?
Yes.
In the United States?
Absolutely. Because number one, I can tell you it's growing because the fact that the children are moving back home to their parents and grandparents, that's growing.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, now, when that happens, when the children are not able to help the parents or the grandparent, that makes the grandparent in a vulnerable position now. It's something. I guess that's why people don't imagine, Keith, because when you start imagining, it can make you depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
So people just live in a daze. They live in a coma. I don't want to think about it because it's too painful. Why think about it? As a cousin told me once, why think about it if you can't do anything about it? I guess that makes sense. What you think, Keith?
What is it? Ignorance is bliss?
What they say, all you don't know can't hurt you, but all you don't know can land you in the streets.
It can't. What you don't know can't hurt you, but in the meantime, huh?
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah, we have to rethink that old saying. All you don't know can't hurt you. All you don't know can put you in a hell of a predicament.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's look at it. You have your child, you have your grandchild. Wow. And I think about the grandparent who the grandkids have to come live with. Now, you know that that's a problem because we are so far removed from what they think is normal or are used to do. We're looking back at the days we were real. You know, you don't smoke in my house. You don't bring certain company in my house. I choose and decide who come here. I need to know the person. So, you know, there's a lot of misery going on right now among people who are forced to have to, not forced, but have an open heart and take in young people, their grandkids, great-grandkids. My heart goes out for the burden for those parents and grandparents who have to do that because there's going to be a conflict. They are going to bump heads.
Yeah.
They're going to bump heads because all the kids know, they don't know about yesteryears, how people do things. So what they're doing is normal to them, and you are an abnormal grandmother or mother who are not putting up with the way they choose to live their lives.
Yeah, it's always a negotiation when you move people into your house.
Wow.
Because especially if you've been by yourself for a long time, or only a couple of people for a long time. To have a house full of people it can be irritating.
So before you say yes, and I think most people, out of sympathy, you answer too quick. That's why my father used to make me so angry, Keith. Every time we asked him something, Daddy, can we do this? Let me sleep on it. I'm so sick of him sleeping on stuff. But now I understand.
Yeah, yeah. Don't want to commit to
Just
something
let
that
me
you're gonna
sleep
regret.
on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
let me think
let
about
me
it.
think about it. Yeah.
See, we like answers right now.
Mm-hmm.
In my book, I wrote Creating a New You in 6 Weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I asked this question. In the run of a day, I want you to think about, out of all the things you do for that day,
Yeah.
how much did you really do for you?
Mm-hmm.
That's something to think about. How much in the run of a day, run of a week,
Mm-hmm.
how much did you really do for you? Because most people, someone asks you to do something, you don't even think about it. You go, can you do me a favor? Yes. You don't even qualify. Most people don't even say, well, what is that favor?
Mm-hmm.
Why did we do that, Keith? You don't even know what they're getting ready to ask you. But have you noticed that most people, if you say, Keith, can you do me a favor? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Without even asking. So I talk in the
Mm-hmm.
book, Creating a New You in 6 Weeks, how to say no
How to say no? Yeah. Most
and
people.
feel good.
Yeah.
Not just how to say no and feel good about your no answer.
Yeah. Yeah. People always want to be the nice person and don't want to say no.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you say yes. You know, can I move in with you?
Mm-hmm.
You better
Yeah.
do like Simon, my daddy, say, let me sleep on it.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, you better sleep on things. Tell your kids to learn to sleep on things.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great way to live your life because we make too many mistakes by
Yeah, we do.
answering too quick. Wow. Keith, I think we have something in the chat.
It says, it's from Jamal says, so if AI can only make money by replacing workers, then is universal basic income? Yeah, it is on the horizon. They've been talking about universal basic income for the last 20 years. So that is the only way to keep people alive. And I've seen some people say, some people say we don't need this many people. Okay.
Well, why don't whoever think that way? Why don't they just exit the planet and leave the other people alone?
Because they have money, but
Oh, in other words, the only people supposed to be here is the one.
the lower half of people, what they consider the lower half of people. That's what they saying that they don't need. But yeah, that is because AI eventually can, automation can actually replace what is it, 90% of your jobs.
Yeah, but if people start thinking there's going to be a lot of jobs created because of AI too, I think people, it will be some. We got to start thinking outside of the box because I still believe that there's a God, out there, and I don't think He's going to allow man to create anything that really causes that kind of doom to men and women that we cannot escape the wickedness and the greed.
The thing is, right now you have more than enough technology to live a good life if with the current technology. Okay, so if AI comes and it's going to replace you, okay, if enough people don't want to live in that society, they don't have to live in it. You can go make another society someplace else. You don't have to bring it in. You can say we don't want this and move someplace else and take the technology that you can use that's already here that you can buy. And make your own society. You don't have to live in it.
Well, we're going to have to become very creative. And one of those creatives is going to be raising our own foods, deciding what we know not going to buy, deciding what we're not going to purchase that you're making, deciding what services we're not going to use. We do have some power in our hand that we're going. I think the creativity juice is going to flow, and people that never flowed before. People who've been laid back in a coma, letting everything just roll as it will. It's going to start thinking. I see geniuses coming out of this situation. I see people inventing. I see people finding new ways to do things. So I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting.
Okay, you have so much technology out there already. Okay, the technology is coming out. Will it advance you? Yes, it could. But the thing is, you don't need it to survive. Okay, you don't need all this stuff to survive.
Yeah. Well,
There's other ways of doing things. Even with 8 billion people, you don't need most of the stuff that's coming out with AI to actually survive. Okay, you don't.
right.
So the thing is, people say, "Well, what are we going to do if AI comes?" I said, "Don't use it.
Yeah.
Go someplace else." Yeah.
And don't panic like we did
No.
with Y2K. Remember that
Oh yeah.
people went and bought up all the generators, bought up all the food they could get. So
Yeah.
there's a power greater than the power that we have.
Yeah.
But let's go back, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is just think of someone. Can I come to live with you? What are the questions you need to ask? You need to, number one, people. I don't want to really get in that business. I didn't want to ask them why they got evicted or how they end up homeless. What do you mean you don't want to ask them?
You better.
What do you mean you don't want to get in that business? They in your business if they in your house.
Yes, they are.
They done jumped in your business in a way that you going to find it hard maybe to get them out. And you don't want to ask that question? Well, I don't want them to feel bad. Come on, folks. I've heard people say that.
Okay, so them being on the street is not going to make them feel bad.
Right. So you need to know, okay, what happened? You need to know what happened that caused this condition in the first place.
Yep.
Okay? Now, you don't have to be judgmental because what caused it could have been because they made a foolish, dumb mistake. Hello. Yeah. We all make them. We're all guilty. Raise your hand and say I. We all have made some mistakes that was really not good.
Yeah.
And there were consequences that followed that. We all been there. So listen to the story. Non-judgmental. But then your next question need to be, how long are you asking me to allow you to live in my home? You need to ask that question. Then if they say, well, a month. That's just like a person asking you to loan them money. Can you lend me $2,000? I'll pay you back in a couple of weeks. Then the next thing need to be, okay, where is the source coming from? Did somebody die and leave you an insurance policy you waited as a beneficiary? Do you have a job that you started next week? We just don't ask the right question. That's why we're left heartbroken and full of anger that builds up that we carry around that impact us in our lives forever, that had nothing to do with us. We're carrying a burden of what someone else put on us because we don't ask the right question. You need to say, well, how long? Well, a month. Okay. Then first you're going to ask what caused the condition.
Right.
Okay? Then you want to know how long do you expect to live in the house?
Yeah.
The next question you want to ask is, what needs to happen to put you in a position to be able to move on? You got to ask those questions because otherwise they just pulling your leg.
Yeah.
You say, let me stay for a couple of weeks. You saying that just to get in the door. You know darn well in a couple of weeks, there's nothing in sight that's going to change your financial condition.
In a couple of weeks. If that was the case, you could have done it by yourself.
Or you could have stayed where you were for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, yeah.
Okay. So, what will it take for you to move on? Okay. Let me ask Brenda, what's her take on that?
You there, Brenda?
Brenda's here.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We've got you.
Good morning, everyone. My take, I've actually been in a situation like that, and I have a very bright and intelligent younger sister. And one of her first questions to me is, she knew why I needed a place to live for a minute because I was waiting for my test results for an entrance exam to work with the state of California.
Okay.
And so she knew that I was waiting for the call to the acceptance letter to be hired.
Okay.
So her question to me which was a great question, what is your plan? She knew my why I was there, why I needed a place, because my rent had went up and I was waiting for this job to come through.
Okay.
But her thing was, before anything could happen, because she also was married.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, in order for me to justify this, I need to know, what is your plan?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My plan, I pinpointed everything that I was going to do, and in the time that it would take me to be able to not only get the job, but able to save enough money to have a first and the last. So
Okay.
I have a clear plan. And I think that that is a question, like Dr. Rosie said, you have to ask the right question.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go into this thing half-heartedly, because you can be worse off having did that than you were initially, because now you had to kick somebody out, and
Yeah.
now you have family divided because some people are not going to understand why you did what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So you find yourself in a much worse place. So the intelligent thing is to ask the why. Is the person in the need of a place to stay? What's your plan to get out of it? And how you want to, proceed from this time moving on. Because we are in a serious situation, and I have been in the situation where I did need a place to live, and so you do need compassion, because you never know what tomorrow holds for any of us.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I thought it was so important, Brenda, to have this conversation, to have this dialogue today, so people can understand what they're getting into. Have compassion, but your compassion can't go to the point that it destroys you. Particularly, and you mentioned that your sister had a husband. That's another key thing that we have to think about, where you may have the compassion, and it could be a sister, someone who wanted to live with you, who don't even get along with your husband. I've seen those cases who the husband didn't like them, or they didn't like the husband. So then you got to decide what you're going to do. Are you going to allow your sister to be in the street because your husband doesn't like her? Then you have to qualify. Is there a legitimate reason?
Right.
I mean, what really happened? Because some people just not like a person. I don't like the way you dress. I don't like the way you treated your last husband. I don't like the fact that you left him before you were prepared. All these things come into play. So now you got to look at how you're going to do that. And I've seen people have to make tough decisions when some of their loved ones want to come live with them, even their parents. That's a tough one. When you have a spouse saying to you, well, I've always said, I don't want anybody to live with us. What do you do when it's your mother? What do you do?
Yeah. You have to make an
Come on,
exception.
somebody. What would you do? Being honest, what would you do?
There's always exceptions, because it could be their mother, or one of their siblings, or one of their family members.
So
always have to be an exception.
Yeah, so either you're in a position and say, well, I can get a place for them to stay. I can pay for them to stay in a hotel. Folks, I'm talking about this because these are issues that's coming up. These are issues that I'm hearing about every day when a person is saying, my mother needs to come live with me, but my husband have said, we always said, honey, we wasn't going to let nobody live with us. Folks, these are some trying times.
Yeah, it's also some things that you have to, even before you get married, you're going to have these discussions about some of these things. What do you feel about family? What do you feel about people living with you and emergencies and stuff like that? You have to have that talk.
Keith, you're absolutely right. When I do relationship seminars, when I talk about qualifying your mate, I talk about some of the things that you need to have a conversation about.
Right.
You need to talk about, you need to think about, if I have elderly parents, if they need to come and live with me, that I'm going to open my door to them. You need to have that conversation. You need to talk about, I'm a tithing paying church member. I pay 10% of my salary to the church.
Right.
You need to have these conversations, because once you get into that marriage relationship, and these things comes up, you may have a problem. So they need to be talked about. And I think we're having a lot of challenging time with parents needing to move home. And And
Yeah.
the spouse, well, we can barely take care of ourselves. But I always say, I don't care if another person come in, Keith. I believe in a household, if you're feeding yourself,
Right.
you can feed an extra person.
And normally, even with a lot of times nowadays, it's not that the person doesn't have resources; they don't have enough to live by themselves. Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
even with like an elderly person, most elderly people have resources coming in, whether it's Social Security, retirement, something. They have a little bit of something coming in. Okay, and
right.
that should be more than enough to actually feed themselves. They might not be able to house themselves with the
Yeah,
prices going on, but they can feed themselves. They can pay a little bit on the gas and the water, whatever it is. Okay, they have so an adult person has resources. Okay, unless they're just completely like out of work. And
right.
sometimes even people out of work have like unemployment or something else like that. So there are ways to do things. So especially for an elderly person, elderly people normally have something. Most elderly people don't have nothing. Okay.
Right. And
Yeah.
most of them don't try to get in the way
Yeah.
of the people that they're living with. They tend to try to stay into that room. They tend to try to
Right.
make peace.
Right.
It's very few times when you get one in there who's trying to run your household, tell you what to do. Most times they become very helpful,
Yeah.
very resourceful to the
Yeah.
point that when they get where they
Yeah.
can get
Yeah.
their own place, you almost begging them to stay,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So
Yeah.
you should at least give them that chance.
Yeah, and then figure out how to how what can they do to actually integrate themselves into your house. Okay, say if it's male or female, hey, can you cook? Can you clean up a little bit? There's always something they can actually do.
Can you watch the kids?
Can you watch the
It's
kids?
always
Yeah. It used to be, especially if you have children, right? Okay,
right.
um, the best daycare is a grandparent.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And even when they have to come stay with you, you can be resourceful. You
Hmm.
can find one of the daycare centers where they
Right,
can be most of the day so they don't
right,
get bored, they don't
right,
get lonely.
right.
Folks, we talking about this because it's not at your door now. It's not at your house.
Hmm.
But as my daddy again used to always say, baby, just keep living.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Just keep living. When we would talk about issues, well,
Hmm.
Daddy, how come this? And I wouldn't have done that.
Right.
Keep
Keep
living.
living. Keep living. Yeah.
Keep having a life experience.
Hmm.
And then you decide what you may do and what you don't want
Yeah,
to do.
yeah. The environment always dictates what you're gonna do and what you don't do.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So we're going to look at, Keith, do you have that number that we can give out for the callers? Let's see if I have it here. That number is 669-444-9171. Those who are listening and choose to call in, you can go to 669-444-9174.
Hmm.
We are talking about tough time, tough economy. It's becoming common that your mother, aging parents,
Hmm.
your child, or a longtime friend is facing eviction or is already homeless and need a place to stay.
Right.
Before you say yes,
Hmm.
we're saying before you say yes out
Right.
of love or out of guilt,
Yeah.
what's the real cost?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something, especially if they're a family member or they're a parent or something like that. Okay, you should already know whether they're gonna need a place to stay well before they actually need it.
You know, Keith,
Remember you said you have to get in your parents' business.
that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did. It's time to get in your parents' business
Hmm.
and it's time to get in your children's business.
Business. Yeah.
Keith, I believe
Hmm.
that I say to husband and wives, when your wife is crying or when
Hmm.
your husband is shedding tears,
Hmm.
that's late in the game. You should have seen
Yeah.
that there was something going wrong before that tear
Yeah.
dropped.
Yeah. And that person's gonna have to. When you ask that person what's wrong, they're gonna have to stop lying. That nothing's wrong. They'll have to tell you.
Yeah, what they do, like we, Daddy, what's wrong with you, girl? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna have to stop that nothing stuff.
You got to stop that nothing stuff. And so I say to parents,
Hmm.
if your child, think about it, Keith, you will know. It's hard to say, can I come back home? Here you got two
Right.
kids or whatever.
Right.
But you should see if you have relationships and you've
Hmm.
been seeing each other or
Right.
just talking on the phone.
Right.
You
Right.
can hear in the voice or based on the conversation. They shouldn't have to ask you,
Hmm.
you should know. You should open that door. So you know what? If things are tough, if really
You
have
really have to
this
go.
kind of
You have no place to go. Yeah.
why don't you come home and get re-established, save up some money, and I'll help you plan your budget. We need. They shouldn't have to ask us.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to ask us. Your parent should not have to ask you, because most times they're not. They rather just die there alone. It's difficult.
Yeah. There's some cases where you have people that are like with substance abuse, and they're out there in the streets doing stuff that's going to be negatively impact your household. Okay, well that's a different story.
Right.
That's a different story.
Absolutely. That's a different story. But you should be able to feel that pain and say, well, mother, you can, we have a room, you can live with us, and, just talk about how you're going to work it out. Now, but let's look at, there's some deal breakers. I don't care if it's mama.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if it's papa.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Children, grandchildren, friend. There are some deal breakers. I used to wonder why there were children that was in the street homeless when their parents had a house and their father had a house. But recently, I saw something real close thing that I understand. There are times that you cannot. I mean, that's when I say, what does it cost you emotionally and mentally? Sometimes having certain people in your house with the wrong attitude for the wrong reason, walking up in there with entitlement. They're not in their mama's house because they had the entitlement. You got to think about, I always say, and this is not always the case, but most time, when your mama say you can't come, most time, okay? And you decide, well, she don't want him to stay. I'm going to let him stay with me because she just evil. He says she's... Most time, when a mother say you can't come and you homeless, you got to really do some deep research about that person. I'm telling you. I've seen that. But the things that the deal breakers, that's what we're going to look at. What would be the deal breaker for you, Keith? Moving to your house. I don't care who it is.
The first one is if they have a mental illness, okay, that's severe.
Okay,
that's number one. Is because there's nothing you can do about it, and if you move them in, you're going to have to move the illness in with you. And if you got other people, that they have a psychotic break, that's a big impact on your family.
That's emotional draining.
And sometimes it can be unhealthy, especially if police have to get involved. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And the second one would be drugs. Okay.
Okay.
If somebody's addicted to drugs and addicted to the street and that lifestyle, okay, the chickens will come home to roost. So you have to be really careful about those two, especially. Those would be the first two deal breakers for me.
Okay. Yeah. Should you ask that question if someone comes to live with you? People don't ask the right question.
Right.
I would want to do you smoke?
Yeah.
I'm talking about regular cigarette. Well, okay, but you cannot smoke in my house.
Right. Yeah. You can't smoke in the house.
That you can't do.
You can adapt to that. I can't tell
you not to smoke, but you can't smoke.
Yeah, you got to go to the backyard and get outside, get your puffs in, and come back in. Yeah. Okay.
Right, because you can't break that smoking habit just because they don't have a place.
Yeah. You can deal with that. Okay, you can deal with that.
Right.
But the other stuff is kind of hard to deal with.
Exactly, and you want to ask that question. Do you drink?
Do you drink?
Okay.
Yeah.
Socially, these things you want to know.
Yeah, do you have a habit? Okay.
Yeah.
You're addicted to it. So addiction can be a deal breaker. Okay.
Right.
Especially if it's severe.
Right. One of the other things, are you seeking employment? Are you seeking disability?
Right.
Are you? What you seeking?
What's your plan?
If my dad said, "What you looking for?"
Yeah, how you gonna survive? Okay.
Yeah. What's your plan?
If I was here, what would you do? Okay.
You need to ask those questions. I think the problem comes because we don't ask the right question.
Right.
That's why we're having this show, for you to understand. Like I said, it's not at your door now, but it might be tomorrow. So you need to know how to handle it.
Right.
The other deal breaker with me would be company.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Now that's a real deal breaker. I don't know the people. And I'm sorry, maybe because today my birthday. I'm 80 years old. Maybe
Happy birthday! What are you doing here? You're supposed to be out. You're supposed to be.
I know. I forgot that it was my birthday.
You should have.
Before I got somebody to do this show.
You should have stayed in Vegas. Me and Jamal could have done the show. Okay, you should have stayed in Vegas. Okay.
I should have. And guess what? Not only on my birthday, I got a call this morning that a dear friend of mine, went to the house to check on that person and call paramedic. Had to wait till they come. So. Keith, after 80 years, you've had so many birthdays. It's just another day that I'm grateful to be here because most of my friends are gone.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's just another day to me.
And it really, once you get past a certain age, every day is a birthday.
Yes, absolutely. So you just do what you do. But I will not tolerate. I'll let you come and stay with me if you need to. I'm going to be nice to you. You're going to feel at home. But as far as that company, not in today's time. I mean, it may not be a breaker for you. And Brenda, I want you to chime in on it. It's a breaker to me because I don't know the people. And people now that come to your house, they may want to come back later. I think the older you get, the trusting of... Yes. It's not that you become paranoid. People say it's paranoid. No, you become more aware. You're more conscious. You're more in tune because history has taught you something. Let me say that again.
Yeah.
When you live a certain amount of time, you should be able to lean on history. Yeah. That should teach you something. That would be a big for me for a person having company, in and out the house. It's a deal breaker for me. It's a respect for time. It depends on the size of your home. I just wouldn't want people coming in 2:00 in the morning anytime they feel like. So I think when you're at other people's house, you just don't act like it's your house.
That's true. Yeah.
It's just that simple. Get your butt in at a decent time.
Yeah, a decent hour, yeah.
Yeah, because you may think, well, that person come in anytime, but could be an intruder. So I don't want to. That's a deal breaker for me.
Okay. Yeah.
And disrespecting rules.
Yes.
So number one, that's just one of the rules. No smoking. Lay the rules down. And I think you need to write the rules out, Keith, and have the person to sign it. And also have them to sign that I am not a tenant.
Right. That's true. Yeah. When it comes down to
I am a visitor.
Yeah.
In case you have to evict them.
Yes. Yeah.
Now some people say, well, if you let that mail come there, then it's going to be hard to evict them.
No, so, you can have an agreement, okay, because contract law, Dr. Rose, contract law trumps the common law. Yeah. So if they sign a contract, they have to abide by that contract. That's
why, folks, if you let somebody move in your house, make sure you have an agreement with the rules and regulation and your deal breaker. Right? What violate their condition of being there. And have them to sign out, I am not a tenant. I am a guest.
Yes.
And that's important. That's going to help you if you have to evict them. Now, the other deal breaker is, now, if you don't have any money, you have no means.
Right.
Whatever I cook, whatever in my house, if you're living with me, you're family.
Right.
Nothing is off limit. But now you can't act like you don't be foolish. Don't go in there and pour up a 16-ounce of orange juice every time you want to drink some juice. Now I'm serious. Because you got folks who would do that. I had a nephew once that lived with me, and we would get the gallon of apple juice. He would go in there and get a big tumbler thing, just sit there and just drink it. Said, no, we don't drink orange juice like that. You're welcome to have orange juice, but get you
Yeah.
No more than a cup. You don't even need a cup or half a cup.
Unless you're going to buy your own,
Unless you're
basically.
going to buy your own.
Well, I'm helping you out. You're not a dependent. You're not a child. Okay.
Right.
You should be able to at least feed yourself.
Yeah, and you should be conscious. A person should realize you don't go in and just you buy a big bag of potato chips and you go in there and get it, plop back on the couch watching TV and eat the whole bag of potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't that welcome, okay?
unless you bought the bag. If you bought the bag, you want to eat the whole bag of potato chips, you're perfectly welcome to do that. Okay. The thing is, and if you empty it, you should buy it to replace it. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't be trifling and nasty. You got to clean up behind yourself. All of this stuff is going to be when you eat. You wash your dishes.
Mm-hmm.
There's no maid. Beulah ain't up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but these are little things, folks, that you really have to discuss. What are your deal breakers? You may be okay with folks running in and out of your house, them having company, some male friend, he want to bring his friend over to spend the night. You may be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
A recipe for disaster, but yeah, you might be okay with it.
You may be okay with that. Mm-hmm. So I want you to think about next time when it comes to you saying yes or no, what is it going to cost me emotionally and mentally? What is it going to cost me financially? I want you to put those 3 pieces on the table.
Right.
Before you say yes, what would this cost me?
Right.
Emotionally, financially,
and legally, yeah.
And legally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because, Keith, I've seen so many times that majority of the time I've seen when families have taken someone in to live with them, they leave not speaking to each other. They leave with a family disturbance because the person who moved in with you is constantly telling lies to the other side of the family about what you did to them. Mm-hmm. And they're judging you by what this person said. Because you don't even know they're outside talking to the other family, telling your business. And folks, it can be a real chore. Yeah. You may have to recover. Sometimes you may have to see a psychiatrist. You have to recover after you get people out of your house. Sometimes they leave you feeling mentally drained. Mm-hmm. So it's a big thing. So before you open that door and say yes, there's a lot of things that you need to think about. You might say, you know what, I'd rather pay for this person for a place for 6 months than to have them in my house. Because to have your peace disturbed, folks, I don't know if you know what it's like to have your peace disturbed and your heart broken by a relative.
Right.
Wow. So, Brenda, what are some of the deal breakers for you? If someone wants to move in your house, what are some of the deal breakers?
I think the most important ones, a lot of them are the same ones that you mentioned. A lot of company running in and out, because I've lived by myself for quite a while. So, but I understand that all people are different. But you know something that I've found to be quite interesting? I found that a lot of people have to sleep with TV and radios on. And I don't know where that comes from. People in my family, men that I've dated, they have to have something on all night long, 24 hours. And that might seem like a trivial thing, but to me, when your mind never shuts down, when there's never any peace, never any quiet, to me, that drives me insane almost.
Okay.
I have to have some time just silence, just quietness to think and to gather my thoughts and to make plans for what's my next move in life. And if something is constantly in the background, running TVs, radios, computers, or whatever it is, that's a deal breaker to me. I mean, you have to have some time where you're just able to just be quiet. I mean, I wouldn't want to try to take a person's individuality away from them. But that would be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, well, that can be handled by earphones and things like that, where you can't hear it. So that's a simpler one. But
But
there's other
even
things
if
that
they
come
have
along.
the light on, Keith,
Yeah,
you know, the light on from the TV, you know, sometimes you just want pitch black darkness. You don't want to see nothing, and you don't want to hear nothing.
Okay.
You know, and she's right. Some people got to be always doing that. And if you're living in the house with other people, depends on the proximity to your room.
Yeah,
you should be mindful.
Yeah.
Of being on the phone.
Yeah.
At a certain time of night or in the morning. Just be mindful. You just cannot wreck a person's peace. You know.
Yeah, well, your house, your rules, okay? How you live, they have to adapt to it because they're asking you for a favor. So.
Absolutely. Is there any other deal breaker for you, Brenda? Don't be eating up my food.
No,
I'm serious. All the little, as I say, knickknacks. No, y'all don't know what they did.
Yeah.
My grandson was living with me, Brenda. He went to school. He told the kids, say, "Oh, I forgot to tell Granny to get some knickknack," and they said knickknack. So he carried me. Mom don't even know what knickknacks are. I said, they don't live with their grandmother.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between an adult and a dependent. Okay, the dependent is different. Whereas an adult, yeah, you can buy your own food at least.
But even if you can't, Keith, you ought to have common sense to know. I would never. My daddy taught us. You hear me? I always talk about my father because he would say, if you're eating and there's a biscuit left, don't you reach and get the last one. You company. In other words, how can you? If I open a bag of cookies, how you gonna have the nerve to just eat till you empty the bag?
Right.
That's irritating when people don't. That's not respect. But if it happens, then you
replace it.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Tell that person, look, I said you were welcome. Make yourself at home, but you are not welcome to overindulge in the extra. You know, the little goodies. You don't have to go in if it's 5 bananas. You don't have to eat all 5. So having these conversations.
Yeah, I mean,
but once you have them, Keith, and you start violating, I done told you.
Yeah. You know, you're an adult. Buy your own food. If you want to eat that much, okay. The biggest cost is rent, okay, shelter, okay. If I'm taking that load off, you can buy your own food.
But even if they can't buy their own food, Keith, they need to be mindful. If they haven't been taught any manners, because some relatives come to your house, Brenda, they don't have any manners. They haven't been taught. Then I think it's up to us to try to teach them.
Yeah, you got to set out your rules.
Yeah, so if they leave you and go to someone else's home, they'll know how not to violate. Sometimes they grown, I ain't telling them nothing. He ought to know better. Don't make that assumption.
And everybody know better. And everybody's not raised in the same household and raised the same way. So
and some people are reared in a house. Well, when you bring the grocery in, you bring all the extras in, that the kids just eat till they get tired. They just eat what they don't say, I'll take a little bit because somebody else may want. They could have been reared that way.
Yeah.
So I think it's incumbent upon us to spend some time teaching and trying to help them so when they go on their way. But one thing I will say, when you allow relatives to live with you because it's a rental issue, and they are saying, well, when we get on our feet, like Brenda mentioned, when I get a job, after I get 4 or 5 payments, I'll be able to get my own place. Be very mindful of that. You need to say, let me see what you got in the bank. Now, I know you all going to say, you gone too far.
No,
you invade my... No, I want to see your account.
I want to see your account,
Because when I see you keep coming in with bags and buying stuff in Amazon, or keep dropping stuff off, and you're not saving money, you're not trying to get out. So, parent, I want you to think about that.
Yeah.
Or you should make them give you the money and you keep it for them.
Yeah. You know, as a parent, I want to make sure that my child never gets in that position in the first place, if I possibly can.
But if they do,
then you already know. But if they can't, then you already know before they even get there. Okay, and then I think a parent-child situation is different is because they're really like your dependent. So, and they were raised in your house. So a lot of rules that you have, they already know. They should already know.
Yeah, but most time, Keith, I've found through friends, different people I've talked to you on, that they allow their children to move in with them.
Right.
They're trying to help them get on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
They started spending money when they never save up enough.
Right.
Because they keep spending the money. So when you see these bags, Amazon, dropping off, keep coming, you got to say something. Don't get mad.
Something.
Don't let it build up and be mad, and then all of a sudden, y'all need to get out of here. No. What we're trying to say is how to be family. It's a way to be family.
You need to be reminding them that this is temporary, and you need to be grinding. Did you go to did you go to look for work today? Or did you turn in a resume? Are you trying to take courses? Are you trying to get a certificate? What are you trying to do? Okay.
Well, don't you think you should monitor what they're doing with their money?
Yeah.
You know, they may not
money,
want you in their business, but you in my business when you're in my house.
They should be. They should be showing you that they're making a plan, no matter what they spend, and be responsible. Okay, I'm saving up enough money to actually move out of your house. Okay, you should set out that plan beforehand. How much money do you make? How much money do you have? How much money do you have coming in? And sit down together. Yeah. Especially if it's a child. Okay, we're going to make a way for you to actually transition to something else. Okay.
Right, because you want them to have more than just enough money.
Right. Yeah, you want them
to have a little saving.
Yeah. You want them to be actually be able to go out and not come back. Okay.
Right.
And live their life, and you're here to actually in this little nest to actually be able to actually build yourself back up, so you actually go back out into the world. That's the whole plan.
Right.
Yeah. Unless you have a different plan. I know some kids come in because mama, I got a couple kids, and mama needs help.
Babysitting, mama needs help.
Mama needs help, and I have the income, but I don't have the housing. Okay, so it makes sense to come in and pay her bills. Okay, which her living expenses, which is cheaper. Yeah. And she's giving me daycare, which is also cheaper, and it works out for everybody. Okay.
And Keith, I'm seeing more of that now.
Yeah.
Where our children are moving home with their parents, our parents are moving home with their kids.
Yeah.
And then they all can have a better living. You're there, you can support them.
Yeah.
They have company. Yeah. Either way it go, whether the mother's moving in or whether the child is moving in.
Right. Yeah.
But I want to say, because a lot of people, in the past, we have said they grown, they make their bed hard, please get rid of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Or you need to understand in the day and hour that we're living right now, you might as well start looking at how can I live with someone else if I had to.
Yeah. Like Jamal says, it might be better to get an ADU and put it in the backyard, which is coming to, Elon Musk is actually, he has a product where you can actually buy a 250 square foot, like modern, home, okay, for less than 10 grand. Okay. So that might be,
how soon is that coming?
And he says, next year.
Wow. Oh, I heard that he just, he's a billionaire now?
Trillionaire.
He's the first trillionaire, right?
Yeah. That's on paper, yeah. But go ahead.
We have something in the chat too.
Okay.
Do you want to read it?
Okay. Okay. There's a couple things. Okay. Number one, happy birthday, Dr. Rosie. Okay. I said. The second one is, do you like to entertain a bunch of women, or in this case, a bunch of men? Deal breaker. This ain't Animal House. Plus, you don't know if this person is on drugs. Do they steal? Okay, because they're not your relative. There's a lot of things when you bring people into your house or to your space, right? That you have to be aware of. I don't know this person. Okay.
Oh my
I don't know
goodness.
You have to get to know people that are actually going to stay overnight in your house. Okay, or you really do, or in your on your property. Okay. And the third thing is, like Jamal said, it might be better to get an ADU and put it in the backyard and rent it out. I don't think anybody in my immediate living space. Adults come with too many layers of issues, even if they seem to be nice people. Yeah. But the thing is, I think that's going to solve a big problem And I think with the tiny houses, all you need is land. Okay. And
So even if
go
you
ahead.
have a backyard where it used to be you couldn't put anything back there,
Right.
they're gonna allow you to
Yeah.
use every square inch.
Inch.
So
Yeah.
you might can put a little 7 by 10, Brenda, in your front yard.
Or a front yard, or in the backyard someplace if you have enough space, okay. And it might be a good idea if you do have the funds to actually get one or buy one of those, for it's less than a car, really, and put it in the backyard, something like that. So if this does come up, okay, people have a place to go, okay. You can have this for a month, okay. The
Yeah.
ADU's back there, get your own food, change the sheets on the bed, blah blah blah, and
And move on.
move on. Rent free, get stuff together. Okay.
Well, folks, you know what the clock on the wall says. We
Mhm.
coming to a close, but I want you to think about it next time a
Yeah.
friend, your parents, a loved one asks to move in with you. I
Yes.
want you to think
Yeah.
about it. I want
Yeah.
you to think about what will it cost me if I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Will it cost me emotionally? Is it going to cost me financially? Will it cost me legally?
Right.
Be prepared to handle whatever decision that you make. But I will say, in this day and hour, folks,
Mm-hmm.
family is all we got.
That's all we got. Yeah.
And we need family now like never before. So don't get caught up into, I'm used to walk. People tell me, I don't want anybody in my house because I may decide to get up and walk around
Yeah.
naked.
That's
How
true.
many times have you gotten up and walked around your house naked? You guys
Yeah.
need to stop all that baloney, okay?
I mean,
You don't have to walk around. If you've been doing it,
Yeah.
you don't have to walk around naked
Yeah.
if someone in your family or a friend need
Okay.
a place to stay. Be mindful. You
Mhm.
have a roof over your head today, but folks, I'm telling you, you
Yeah.
don't know what tomorrow will bring.
You do not. You do
So
not.
always plan. My
Yeah.
closing statement, always plan what you want to come up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Have a great day as you go on your way. See you next week. Adios,
Oh, there's
Brenda.
the heart. There's the heart. All right.
Yes, yes. Okay, you guys have a great one.
All right.